Okay, so if we want to write the test cases for this particular design or Figma as a part of the stationary uh, image or a stationary website where you are not provided with some staging webs URL or some functioning URL, then simply we need to write the test cases by imagining the features that are provided here. For example, if we observe this particular uh, page or let's say design, then simply I can identify here there will be a logo here. Okay, so this logo design has been provided to you by the product owner. Whenever a person is opening this login page, then the logo design or the UI of the page should match with the design provided by the product owner. See, what I'm trying to say here, that once you open this website, for example, let us compare the real project and the design given here. So for example, this pic, this one is a design as a part of Figma, or some design is provided to you, okay, as a design document. Now what you will do as a tester, if later at some stage or initially if you are provided with the staging URL that is functioning uh, for a particular scenario, then what you will do, you will simply start comparing the design, that is the UI part of this particular website, with by comparing it with the Figma or design given by the product owner. Number of times what happens, uh, the developer may, due to any reason, may uh, not be able to match the exactly the design or UI of the website, and maybe possible they have committed some sort of mistake, or the UI of the actual URL or staging URL is not matching with the Figma. Then simply we need to report that uh, defect also as a part of the UI bug. Okay, so for example, if they have given this swag labs in the design like SWAG in bold and labs not in bold, and when you are opening the production website or staging URL, and if you find that while testing this staging URL or production URL, that this SWAG, LABS all are written as a part of capital, as a part of bold or unbold, or may not be in capital letter, but they are in capital letter in design, then you can simply report it here as a part of the bug report. Okay, so what I will do here, I will simply start writing the test cases. The very first test case I will write here. I will write here like copying this test case ID and giving it number 2. Okay, and it will be your very first test case. Let's say feature we are talking about the user interface, so still we are into the user interface. So what the person will do, he will simply check, or you can say uh, check the UI UX of the login page. Okay, that's it. This is the description we have written here, so it will make quite clear to the person who will go through this test case that the feature is a user interface. We have to simply check the UI UX of the login page. Now what are the steps to execute? The very first step that we will write here, that that is uh, how the person will reach to that particular testing execution process. Okay, so very first step that we'll write here, open the issue URL. Okay, in order to test the website or any staging URL, you have to simply open the issue URL or open the URL, whatever. Okay, so you may write here open the issue URL. Then what the second step will be like, second thing what we've done here, we have simply uh, Okay, as a part of the second step, what we want to test, the how the person will start testing this UI UX of the page. Simply, as per the design, when we will open the staging URL, we have to simply check all the UI UX of the page by comparing it with the Figma. So what we'll write here, check the login page UI UX and match it with the Figma. Okay, that's only two steps we need to write here for executing the particular test case number 2. That is, a person will open the URL. Okay, so let us open the URL again. Will Someone will open the URL, and what he will do, simply whenever we are opening the URL, we are talking about the login page. I do not have to go to some other page or some other feature or some other part of the website. Simply whenever we are opening the URL, you will land on the login page. Now, once you are at the login page, you have to start testing here. Now, what I have to test here, I have to simply start testing the UI UX of the staging URL or production URL as per the Figma. So, what person will do, he will simply match the design or the colors, spelling mistakes, or all these things, features are there or not according to the document provided to you. Okay, if you are not finding something which is not similar to the one present in the Figma, simply go straight forward and report a bug here. Okay, anything you are finding here that is not matching with the Figma or with the design, you can simply report it, because the reason is that the Figma or the design which has been provided by the product owner is almost the same document which has been provided to the developer team. And maybe possible here in the user requirement, they do not want a space between the user and the name. Okay, now a developer is there, and by using his general sense, or he might have not observed this username is in not having a space here, so he may have provided the space between the user and the name. Okay, so you can simply go and report that in the Figma username, it is not having any space between the user and name, but the developer team or the developer has provided some space here. So as per the design, it should not be there. Okay. So once you will land on the login page, you have to simply check each and everything like logo design, spellings, colors, it is matching with the Figma or not. Okay, once everything is fine, then you will write here. So test data, we do not require any test data here. I will write here not available. We do not need to log in here for testing this particular UI UX of the page. Expected result, how I will write, the UI UX should be perfect. The UI UX should be perfect. Okay. Now one thing should be very clear to each and everyone here, that whenever we are talking about the expected result means that whenever someone will test this particular website or product in future, not today, not it has been not in past, but someone will read your test case, okay, and will test the product in future. So we are expecting this result, so that should be in future tense only. Okay, once you return the test cases, this part will be empty. Okay, so after completing the after completing writing the test cases, the actual result will be putted by the tester, and that will be in the past tense, or even maybe in the that can be in the present tense, or even in the past tense. For example, if I have executed the testing of this particular login page UI UX, and I believe everything is okay from my side, I do not find any bug or issue here. How I will write here, the UI UX of the login page is as per the Figma or design. Okay, let's write it design here better. That's it. This is how the person who will test in future will write here like as a part of the actual result. I hope it is clear to everyone. But today we are talking about expected result. So expected result that we are expecting. We are expecting our website or our product or this particular feature or functionality to be like that. Whether it is like this or not, that will be written as a part of the actual result by someone else in the future. But today we are writing here the expected result that the product should behave like that. Okay, the result should be like that. So it is always in the present, future tense. Okay. Now let's go for some other test cases. We have talk about the UI UX of the login page. So I believe in UI UX testing of this login page, everything will be covered here, like the colors, fonts, spelling mistakes, or something which is not matching or something is overlapping. Number of times, what happens? This username may be overlapping with this line or this some other area. Okay, so you can also report this sort of issues as a part of the UI UX design. Okay. Second thing, you can move to the second part. As we have started the ad hoc testing for BSNL, Airtel, Flipkart, and Amazon, and I told you whenever you will start testing any issue URL or website, then start with the very first part, that is at the header, pick up the logo and start testing. One can think in a similar way that if I have to write the test cases for this particular page, you have to simply divide this particular scenario in different parts. For example, someone is opening this login page and the person would like to go to the home page, or this logo should be actively working. Whenever a person is hovering the mouse, this logo should be the cursor of the mouse should change. Okay, and whenever they are clicking on this Swiglab logo, it should navigate user to the home page. Okay, so today we are supposing that we are not provided with any document by the product owner. We are simply provided with some Figma or design. So we can imagine, as per our experience, that generally the logo of the websites should be active. Okay, so I will start writing the test case for the let's say logo here. The test case number 3 will be here. So it will be feature is a logo. Okay, now description. So what we are testing here, the design of the logo has been already tested as a part of the UI UX of the login page. We are not concerned here with the this color or design or this spelling or whatever, whether the letters are bold or not. Okay. Now we are concerned here with the functionality. It will be a part of the functional testing also. The UI UX can be taken as a part of the non-functional testing, but here I am interested in clicking the logo of the website. For example, we are at this page, and when I click on this BSNL logo, this one is your logo. So what we expect for any product or website, that when you are browsing different pages or features of the website, and once you hover your mouse on the logo of the product, then the cursor should change, and once you click on this one, it should navigate you to the home page. So this is the action taken by the BSNL website. Same thing we want for the Swiglabs. Whenever I hover the mouse cursor over here, it should change and it should be an active logo. Okay, so we can write the test case here like verify that the logo of the website is active or not. Okay, what I have written here, verify that the logo of the website is active or not. This I want to test. Okay, as a part of the test case number 3. Now steps to execute. Very simple. First one, what we need to write here, open the issue URL. Open the issue URL, first thing. Okay. Second thing that we'll perform here. Okay. What we'll do here, we want to simply test the logo functionality. Okay. Check the logo with. See, for testing the logo whether it is active or not, what we need to do here, we simply hover the mouse over the logo and observe the results. Okay, observe the result. That's it. Do we have any test input data? No, we do not provide it with any test input data. So we are not going to put any username login just for checking the logo functionality whether it is active or not. Next one, expected result. What we expect, the logo. See, once the user hovers over the logo, then क्या होना चाहिए? What should be the action taken by the product? The mouse. Yeah, no, we are not clicking now. Now we are not clicking here. We are only hovering the mouse. I will write some other test case for the clicking one. See, this one is another feature that we are hovering the mouse. See, I am hovering the mouse on the login CTA. The mouse cursor is changing. It is another test case. And when I click on the login, it is another test case. Okay, I hope it is quite clear to everyone. So whenever we are hovering the mouse, it is a different feature, different action, and whenever we are clicking with the mouse, it is a completely different feature. Okay, so for the two, we will write the different test cases. That is the beauty of the test cases. So once the user hovers over the logo, the mouse cursor should change. I am writing here should change. We are not writing here changes or change. Okay, or changed. Should change likha hai. Okay, like that. Is it okay? So this one is the very first test case we have written here for the logo. Now second test case. What I want, if a user has simply hover the mouse over the logo, this one is changing. It is working fine for the BSNL, but it is not working fine here. But we are supposing that whenever we are provided with the design and a user will hover, it should change. The cursor should change. Second thing, I want to navigate to the home page. I do not want to be at the login page. I have changed my mind and I want to bring some more information at the home page. So definitely I will click on the logo and the website should navigate you to the home page. So we are writing the next test case number 4 for the feature logo. So the feature will be logo here only. What we want to find out, we want to find out the functionality, verify that the logo is navigating to the home page once the user clicks the logo. That's it. This is the description we have written here. Someone is going to read it like verify that the logo is navigating to the home page, or you can also call it a logo functionality. Verify the if you do not want to put so much details here, you can write here like verify the logo functionality. Okay, see, now steps to reproduce. I will simply copy this one. I will write here, click here, copy and paste. See, open the issue URL. We will open the website. Okay, then hover the mouse over the logo. No, this time we are not going to hover the mouse. What we'll do here, simply we are instructing the user to click on the logo. What we want is a part of the second step. Click on the logo of the website and observe the results. See, we are not writing here that it should navigate you to the home page. We will write here that in the part of that is a part of the expected result. So again, we are not having any data for testing the logo, so not available. Next one is your expected result. Here we will tell the tester that once you click, once the user clicks, once the user click on the logo, it should navigate to the home page. Simple, Sivad. Okay, that's it. So this is the test case number 4 for logo. Now I believe that for the logo we have tested the design. Okay, we have checked the design of the logo with the design document. We have hover the mouse. Okay, and we have clicked the logo also. It's functioning or not. That's it. I believe all these 3 test cases will provide you the complete coverage for the logo as a part of the login scenario. Are you getting this point? So this is a very small part of the scenario that we call login page, and see, we have written already the 4 test cases for the same. Okay. Now second thing, you can also write here as a user interface. One more test case I give, very important. As a user interface, for example, I'm using this particular website, and we are simply I'm using the tab button. Okay, so whenever I'm using the tab button, or whenever I want to access the feature of a particular website, what we feel that if someone is not comfortable using the mouse, then a person is simply clicking on the tab or pressing the tab button, then the website should navigate you to the all the active links or buttons one by one once you start pressing the tab button. Okay, just for example, we are at the BSNL homepage, and if I do not use my mouse here, and if I press tab button, see what is happening here. It is navigated to the Facebook. This one you can see here, Facebook, then Gmail. Okay, some Windows, Instagram. Next one, about link. All these are accessed by the tab button. What I want, whenever a person is using the tab button, and particular feature should be accessed by simply pressing the tab button and clicking the enter. So once I press the tab button here like that, and I put some name here without using the mouse, and when I click on the tab button again, I am at the password. I put some password here. Once and one more time, if I press the tab button, I should be at the sign in. I am at the sign in, and when I press the enter, it should perform the action like logging in. Okay, so this can be also one more test case. So you can write here like it's a user interface, it's a functional test, verify the tab and enter button functionality. Okay, like that. Simply, what we'll do here, we will open the issue URL, open the issue URL. Okay, the second step, what we'll do, second step, press the tab button and observe the result. This we want user to perform, the tester to perform. Third thing, okay, as a part of the third step, execute this test. What we want, once reach to a button, click the enter and observe the result. That's it. This is what we want a tester to perform as a part of the step to execute. There will be no data available here, so we'll write here not available. Now what we're expecting here, we're expecting that once the user press the tab button, then what action we want our product to perform? That whenever someone is pressing the tab button, once the user press the tab button, he should be able to access all the active एक्टिव लिंक्स, सारी जितनी भी एक्टिव लिंक्स है वो एक्सेस होना चाहिए. सेकंड थिंग, टेक्स्ट बॉक्सेस, टेक्स्ट एरियाज should be accessed by the tab button or the user. Okay, first thing. And clicking the enter button for a CTA or a button on the website should perform the intended action. Okay, this is what we want as a part of the expected result here. Once using any website and pressing the tab button, then what the cursor should be at the particular active link only, and once we reach on a particular button and we press the enter, then what it should do, it should simply take a particular action. For example, whenever we are using the tab button and I reach to a submit button here, let's say like this one, and when I press the enter, it should perform the action like submit, like this one. See, submit. So it should be performed by the website. For example, coming to the Swag Labs, our testing website, when I click the tab button and it is the password. Let's say it is the password. When I click on the tab button, it will be at the from username to password. Then one more time, when I click the tab button, it should be at the login. When I click the enter, login, enter, it's not taking the particular action. So here it is not functioning that well. Okay. So this is how you can also perform one more test. Now the next one, how to write the next test case. So talking about the design, we are done with the logo, we are done with the UI UX design. Now let us come to the next part that I am getting here. That is a username text box. Okay. So for username text box, simply we have already tested this username placeholder with the design. We have tested this part as a part of the UI UX testing with the design. Now what I want some functional testing for this particular text box only. So whenever we are talking about testing this particular feature, that is username, I will not focus on the password, I will not focus on any other feature of this web page. I hope I am clear with this one. Whenever I am writing the test case for the username only as a part of the login functionality, then we will focus only on the username. We will not talk about the password, we will not talk about any other feature on this page. Okay. So for username also, there will be number of test cases. Just for example, whenever we are talking about the username, so whenever the particular person is looking to log into a page, then he should be able to click on the username text field. Number of times what happens, whenever you are using a website which is not designed properly or which is designed poorly, so even if you click on the text box, the cursor do not blink on particular text box. Okay, then you start clicking on that one again and again, you are still not able to access that particular text box. So the user should be able to access the text box. Okay, is it okay? So this will be our first test case. That is, the user should be able to access the text box. Okay. Text case number 6. So again, it's for username. So let us write it here. Username functionality. Verify the accessibility for the username text box. We are writing here text box. Okay. So what I want to check whether username text box is accessible to the user or not. So what are the steps to execute? First one, open the issue URL again. Okay. Second one, what we are doing here, we are simply click on the username text box and observe the result. That's it. And observe the result. That's it. Next one, any test data not available. You are not talking about validating the username, so we are not provided with the username. Now, expected result. What will be the expected result here? The expected result will be like whenever any user is clicking on any text box, the cursor or the cursor should blink and user should be able to write a particular text. Okay, so how we'll write here? When the user clicks click clicks on the username text box, what we want our website to perform: username text box, then the cursor should blink and the user should be able to enter the text. Okay, that's it. Enter the text. So we have to cover two things here. First thing, whenever user is clicking on that particular text box, the cursor should blink. Second thing, you should be able to type something here. If you are not able to type something here, then there is no use of this particular username uh, text box here. So number of times it happens also when you visit any website, when you click on something like that, the cursor is blinking, but you are not able to enter any text. Even if you are typing by using your keyboard, but the text is not getting entered onto the particular text box. Okay, so this will be another test case for this uh, uh, username text box. Next one, how to write for some more test case for this particular username text box. We can simply imagine as if a person is trying to log in by using this WebLabs login page. So this username is cursor is blinking. We are able to enter the text. Now, second thing, number of times in a standard websites there may be some sort of restrictions of minimum characters for username and maximum characters for username. Just for example, for the standard website, the password standard password verification for the user to enter is like minimum 8 character password should be there and maximum 32 character password should be there entered by the user. It means that whenever I am entering the password for any website or whenever I am registering, I cannot have a password less than 8 characters. I cannot have a password more than 32 characters. So that could be the limit given by the product owner. They can have a password even more than that, but generally it is a standard one, that is having a password uh, minimum 8 characters and maximum 32. So as a tester, you have to also write the test case for such sort of functionality. So talking about the username, so generally username could be minimum of three characters or 4 characters as per the requirement of the client. So we can write here the username. So it will be next test case number 7. So we are still at the username. We will write here username. So verifying the username character length. That's it. Okay. So again, what we'll do here, how to write the steps to execute. Open the issue URL. Okay. Open the issue URL. Then now the second step. Click on the username text box. And now we are not talking about observe the result, but we need to enter something here and enter one character only. Okay, that's it. No test result, no test data available. Okay, so see what I'm trying to do here. We are simply trying to verify that whether the website is allowing the user to have a one character username, two character username or not. Okay. Similarly, in the second step, we will repeat this process, and how we'll write here? We will write here the step number 3. Repeat the step number 2 and enter two characters for the username. Okay, and so on. That's it. So it will give you an idea that initially opening the URL, clicking on the username. Okay, clicking on the username, this one, and entering only one character like A B C D 1 2 3 4, and putting some random password and signing in. Then whether it is allowing you to sign in or not. Then second time enter some two characters, the next time three characters, and so on. So simply that will give you an idea that what is the minimum and maximum uh, character length that has been allowed by the product owner. Okay. In the next test case, we can simply talk about verifying if a user will be able to log in with a valid username and valid password. So it is more like a positive test case. Okay. So we are talking about the registration. Sorry, logging in. So it's a login functionality. Verify if a user is sorry. Verify the user is able to log in using valid username and valid password. That's it. Okay. Now steps execute. Number 1, open the issue URL. Number 2, what we need to do here? Enter username. Number 3, see, enter password. Number 4, that's it. Or logging in? No, we need to click on the login button in order to log in. Number 4, click on the login button of CTM. That's it. These are the steps we need to follow. Now test data. Yeah, this time we need to have a test data, because without having any valid username and password, we are not allowed to log in. So we want to actually test the login functionality, whether the user is able to log in or go to the home page or dashboard of the user for the valid user by entering the valid password and the valid username. So for example, username we need to write here. So there will be valid password also. So you cannot write any random data here. Okay. So these credentials are provided by the product owner. Simply going to the website, for example, this Swag Labs. So these are the accepted usernames. We will copy any one of this one. Okay. Then also copy all the 4. So let's copy all the 4 given here and enter here. These are the valid usernames that we got. For password, the password is already given by the product owner here. So we are copying the password and putting the password here. Now this will make sense for the person who will test the website in future, that he will open the issue URL, he will enter the username. Now username kahan se pick up karenge? From test data input. So he will pick up the username from this one, this part. Then he will enter the password given here. He will enter the password and he will click on the login button. So what result we are expecting? We are expecting the user to the user should be able to access the user homepage. This is what we want from our website. User homepage. That's it. Okay. Uh, the username, the username text box should accept the characters between, let's say, 4 to maximum, let's say 15, 12 or whatever, depending upon the user requirement. So let us suppose that a user can have a minimum of 4 characters as the username and a maximum 12 characters. Okay, not to using the space unnecessarily as a part of the username. In the previous case, test case, in this case, test case, we are talking about entering the valid username and valid password in order to access the home page or login page. That's it. So how one will perform this test case? Simply will open the issue URL. That person will enter the username. So let us pick up any one of the username here or paste it here and take the password. Okay, step number 3. Step number 3, enter the password and click on the login button. So when I click on the login button, I should be able to navigate to the user homepage. Okay, let's see whether it is navigating to the user homepage or not. Yeah, we are navigated to the user homepage. So that will be term as a test case has been successfully cleared by the website or the product. Okay, is it okay? So in this way, you can start writing the test cases like entering the invalid username and valid password. Some combinations like entering valid username, invalid password, and so on. Number of test cases can be written here. So if a user cannot log in with a valid username and a invalid password, so this could be one more test case as a part of the negative test case. Let us write one more test case here for the login again. Let's see. See, verify. So it's a negative test case that verify the user, verify the user is not able to log in using the invalid username and password. Okay, so we are talking about some invalid person or some unauthentic person who is using invalid username and password and is trying to access the website features. So we want to block this sort of person. So again we are copying here this one. So steps to execute will be open the issue URL, enter the username, enter the password, click on the login button. The step to execute the test case will be the same. Now the username and password. So we are not providing any username and password here. Okay. Or you can also do one thing here. You can provide some invalid username and password like that. See example like test username. Obviously it is not there, and the password can be like some random password you can give to the tester, and the password can be like ABC123. That's it. So obviously this test as a username, this password as ABC123 is not a valid username or password because no one is registered by using this one. So what result we are expecting here? The user should be able to access the login page? No. Should not be able to access the login page. That's it. So this one is your positive test case and this one is your negative test case. We also want to verify that whether some invalid or not registered person is uh, accessing the website features and functional features or not. Okay. Okay, in some other session, we will continue writing the test cases for real projects like BSNL GML. I have simply given you the basic idea how to start writing the test cases. You can continue writing the test cases for this Swag login function, login scenario, where I simply give you some more example. You can also write uh, some test cases for login button also. We have not talk about the login button. Okay, let us quickly talk about the login button also. So let us suppose login. We are again talking about the feature login. Now, what we are trying to do here, we are simply verifying the functionality of the login button. So specifically, I am talking about the login button only. See, when we open this web page of the Swag Labs, okay, so we have tested this logo, we have tested the UI UX design, and as a part of UI UX design, that is user interface testing, we have already tested the login spelling, whether it is in capital letters or not, the color and the size of this particular button. But we have not talk about the functionality, whether it is working or not, whether whether a user is hovering mouse here, so it is the cursor is changing or not, whether clicking on this one is performing some action or not, whether it is working actively or not. Okay, so here again, talking about the functionality, you can simply uh, copy this one and click on this one. So this will be the same. Okay, we are not providing any data to the user. Simply I want to check the login button functionality. So the login button should work as intended. Okay, so as a test case designer, you can also write it like the login button should take some action once the user clicks on it, or should work like as intended or as desired. Okay, so everybody is having this idea. Whenever you are opening any website and you want to test the functionality of the login button, then whether the user has put it some username or password or not, clicking on the login button, so it should take a particular action. So I hope we have written here the, even if you do not write these two steps, that will be okay, I believe. Okay, if you write, there won't be any harm. So opening the issue URL, clicking on the login button, that's this is the only thing I want here. Okay, in order to check the functionality. So functionality means that whenever we are clicking on this login or sign in button, even if you have not put any data here, so it should work properly. It should take some action, like give you some warning or something like that. It should, you should be able to click on this one. You should be able to click on this one. That's it. Okay. So I believe, talking about the Swag Labs, we have completed writing the test cases, covering almost each and every part of the web page. Although I have not covered certain negative test cases. There could be a number of negative test cases can be there. You can start writing by your own. So as per the time permits, we talk about writing the test cases for that stationary page, that is Swag Labs. Okay. In some other session, we may continue writing the test cases for BSNL web page or sign in page, login page, like that. Okay.